Hey everybody, it's Bill Riddle coming to you from Nashville, Music City, USA. It's the City Taste of Tennis. What's in your kitchen? Actually, it's what's in my kitchen today. And really excited about doing this. This is going to be really a fun little bit of time we've got together here. And so today I'm going to actually be cooking for you a couple of little things. We've got Nashville Hot Chicken. You've heard of the famous Nashville Hot Chicken. Well, I'm going to be cooking my version of that today for you. Then I've got a savory waffle we're going to put that chicken on top of. And then to kind of go with it, we've got a little country potato hash. So we've got a cool thing kind of set up here. We want you to kind of chime in, and I'm going to try to do my best to keep up with everybody who's here watching and maybe even try to follow along there. But coming to you from Nashville, we've got a good time here. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So we've got people jumping in there. Let's see. Cool. Looking good. All right, so I'm cooking and I'm working the social media as well. So Taste of Tennis, what is it to me? It is, you've got these fun events that they do around the world with the Grand Slams and the big tournaments, but then also you've been probably following along, or you can follow along on social media, because they've got different people coming in to cook. They got real chefs, and they got guys like me that will pop in. Now, I am not a chef. My job is a tennis coach and longtime tennis pro, and my aspiration would be to be a good cook or a chef, but we're going to see how that kind of goes. And let's get rolling with the menu today. So I've got some chicken right here, little chicken tenderloins we've got. And hot chicken is really a spicy version of chicken. And I'm going to put it in a little bit of buttermilk with an egg. And in my batter here, I put in a little extra sauce, a little hot sauce. You can go with Louisiana, or you can go with Texas Pete, or whatever you want, but I put a little sauce in mine. And then we're going to take that chicken and we're going to go from the wet part over into this little breadcrumb mixture that I made up for you. So in my breadcrumbs, I've got, in this dry mixture, I've got breadcrumbs, I've got some red chili flakes, I've got some salt and pepper, of course, a little bit of onion powder, and then right here you can kind of see what we've got in this mix. So we've got it kind of set up with a little cayenne as well. And we put that in there with that dry mix and just kind of like get that chicken wet first, and then you kind of just toss him around in that dry mixture. And then from there, we're going to move him over. We got two options today. I've got the oven, which you can just turn your oven on like 350 and get that bad boy all hot and ready to go. Or what we're going to do today to make it a little bit better for us, we're going to put it in the air fryer. I've been on this kind of fitness journey, trying to be a little bit better with my fitness and with my eating, which is tough sometimes. But today we're going to put this chicken in the air fryer and let that get rolling. Let's see, just finishing up this last piece of chicken here. Goes from the wet over into the dry mixture. Remember, the wet mixture is a little bit of buttermilk, an egg, and then some hot sauce goes in there. And then for me, in the dry component of this, I've got my breadcrumbs, I've got some cayenne pepper, some salt and pepper, some red chili flakes, just kind of giving it a little kick there, kind of knock it up a notch. So we're going to take our chicken here, get it all coated, ready to rock and roll, and I'm going to put it in my air fryer over here. And I've got 3 pieces going in the air fryer. We're going to turn that bad boy on. Let's see here, 375, and we're going to let it just kind of roll. Let me wash off my hands here because it gets kind of bad with this wet dry mixture combination. All right, so we got our chicken rolling. It's going to be Nashville Hot Chicken, kicked up a notch. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to get working on our. Let me move this out of the way right here. You can tell I'm not really a chef. I'm just an old guy who cooks a little bit. So next we're going to start working on our potato hash. So what I like to do is first off I take those potatoes. We got some cool little potatoes here. Put them in some hot water. Get them a little bit soft, right? So I'll bring them out of the water here. And then what we're going to do, we've got the skillet kind of heating up back here behind us. I'm working the whole thing here. Put a little bit of oil in that skillet, just a little bit of oil. And then I've got some red peppers, some bell peppers, and some yellow peppers with a little bit of onion already chopped up here. Let me bring this up here so you can see it. But this is what we're working with here. We got the peppers, we got the onions. I've even got a few banana peppers. So one of the tricks you can do with this is the banana pepper juice. You can throw a little bit of that in the skillet to kind of kick it up another notch. So we're just going to take our potatoes and just kind of smash them a little bit right here like this, right? So just smashing these bad boys up. Boom, boom. You know, the good thing about being a cook and not a chef is it doesn't have to be perfect. You can just kind of go with it, right? Because it doesn't really matter. It's just got to taste good at the end of the day, right? All right, so we've got potatoes. We've got peppers, onions. Everything's ready to rock and roll. I'm going to put this into, you find my tongs here. Throw this into my skillet. Make sure my skillet's up nice and warm there. And we're going to let this start kind of working together, right? Got my name on my cutting board. That means something. I don't know what, but it means something, right? So we got our potatoes kind of rolling over there in the stove. One of the things I want to make sure I do, always salt and pepper. This is what happens to a lot of people. They forget the salt and the pepper, right? And you got to have salt and pepper, otherwise it's just not good, right? So I got a little salt and pepper in there. Got my onions, got my peppers, got my potatoes in there. We're making a little country hash that's going to go along with our waffle, our savory waffle, and our Nashville Hot Chicken. And you can hear in the background that Nashville Hot Chicken is rolling right now. It's in the air fryer, and it's going to be good here in just about another 10 minutes. All right? So, while this is kind of cooking, I want to tell you a little bit about my last experience with City Taste of Tennis. So right before COVID hit, I was out for Indian Wells and was at the Riviera Club with my good friend Mary Pat Faley. And that was one of the last events that happened right before everything kind of got shut down for COVID and the pandemic really hit. And City Taste of Tennis did a great job. They had McEnroe out there, John McEnroe. They had Michael Chang, Naomi Osaka, and one other player. Anna Samova. And so they had a little fun afternoon of tennis out there. Head was involved. We had Maria Sharapova came out, did a little clinic on the courts there at the Riviera Club. And, we talk about fun events and doing stuff. For me, that's the one that really stuck out because it was the last big thing before everything got shut down for COVID. So let me check on these potatoes. We got them rolling. A little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan. Keep them mixed up. There we go. Rocking and rolling. So now we've got chicken going. We've got our potatoes going. We've got to get our waffle going. So I'm going to plug in my waffle iron. Got to have a waffle iron because it's just not a waffle unless it's in a waffle iron, right? So I've got my batter made up. What I'm doing, my take on this, is I do a little Kodiak cake waffle. Now, why Kodiak cakes? Because it's kind of high in protein. And so once again, working on staying in shape. So I got to go with the extra protein. So in my batter, I've got the Kodiak cake mix. I've got a little bit of water, no oil, just a little bit of water, a little bit of mix, and now I'm ready to get going. But here's what's going to happen. We're going to make this savory. And how are we going to do that? We're going to add a little corn to it. This is a southern thing, right? So people like Paul Anacone, who played at University of Tennessee, you know about southern, right? So we're going to put a little bit of this corn in our waffle maker and let it get hot, right? After we spray it down, we got to use some nonstick spray, right? So we hit it with the nonstick spray, bingo, bango, there we go. We put a little bit of corn right there on the waffle maker. And we're gonna let that just heat up a bit, right? Because I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna put my batter on top of that, and we're gonna make this really, really cool waffle. So, kind of recapping, we've got the chicken going in the background. You can hear it, it's getting good right now. It's a Nashville Hot Chicken. My take on Nashville Hot Chicken. It's not gonna be fried, it's gonna be put in the air fryer there. So we've got that rolling. I've also got my potatoes with my peppers and onions, my little bit of country hash. Might need a little bit more oil on this, right? Got to go with a little bit of olive oil on there. Get these bad boys working. And now, as my waffle iron heats up, I'm gonna be ready to put down these waffles. So let me just check and see who's what. Chicken and waffles. Mikey, there we go. We got Rich and Hoyt from my team at Martin Methodist. A little shout out to Martin Methodist. He's watching, good. We got people joining in nonstop here. Actually, let me give you another shout out, because behind the camera, the producer, the man behind the mic, behind the camera, is the one, the only Guy Schaefer, producing and running the cameras for me today. So big shout out to Mr. Guy Schaefer back there. So I've got my corn working over here in the waffle iron, and it's about ready for me to put down the batter. So here we go. We're gonna bring this up, put our batter in the waffle iron. The trick is to put just enough, but not too much, right? Because if you put too much, what happens? Boom, goes everywhere. Nobody wants that. All right, so we got the waffle cooking. We got the country hash back here working. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. There we go. We got the country hash working. Oh, this is gonna be so good, right? Turn it down a little bit more. And then I've got the chicken, it's frying up in the air fryer, right? So why the air fryer? One, I wanna kind of cut down on some of the fat instead of putting it into hot oil and frying it like we would normally in the South. I'm gonna air fry it to make it a little bit better. Now, one of the things too that we've kind of put together, and unfortunately, my workstation here is a little bit messy, but I put together a little bit of a honey and spice glaze that's gonna go over the top of this when we're done. So it's basically just honey and a little bit of extra hot sauce to drizzle over top of that waffle and that chicken when we're done here. Let's check it out here. Oh, there we go. It's working. So we've got the chicken going, we've got the waffle going, we got people coming in. I love it. Waving. Let me hit a wave right there. Thank you guys for watching. It's City Taste of Tennis. What's in your kitchen? It's actually what's in my kitchen today. So very thankful to get a chance to kind of take over their Instagram and do this live from my kitchen right here in Nashville, Tennessee, the home of country music, actually the home of a lot of music. A lot of people don't realize just how much music is made right here in this town, whether it be country, gospel, pop, a little bit of everything. But this is the place to be if you're a musician. All right, let's check on these potatoes. That hash is coming together. Almost done. I'm gonna turn that off. My chicken is still kind of cooking. I'm gonna double check that. It's looking good. Got that going again. We got another couple of minutes here on that waffle, maybe about 2 minutes. And so what we've put together today for you is Nashville Hot Chicken on top of a savory waffle. What made it savory? We added that corn element to it, right, into the batter. And then after that, we're gonna put a little country potato hash on the side, all right? Let me double check how this is going. Yep. We are almost there. So we got that working. We've got the chicken is almost done. And then we're gonna put it on the side with this potato hash. Real quick here, I'm gonna show you the power of TV. We've got your chicken and your waffle ready to rock and roll. All right. We're gonna let this one finish up over here. All right, so we've got you a savory waffle, right? In that waffle, we've got Kodiak cake mix, some water, and we put a little corn in there, okay? Nice waffle. On top of that, we got this nice 2 pieces of hot Nashville chicken, right? In that chicken, we had some spices. We've got my little take on hot chicken, which is red pepper flakes. We got some cayenne pepper. We've got salt. We've got a little bit of onion powder right there, and a little bit of paprika as well. So we put that in our breadcrumbs. We made it really, really good, and then we put it together. Put that chicken in the air fryer. Now remember, you can always put this in the oven as well. Just bake it for like 350 for about 10-15 minutes and see where it's at right there. Remember, I'm not a chef, I'm just a cook, but I am a pretty good tennis coach. So we've got the chicken and waffle plated up, ready to go. I'm going to get my country hash here from the side. All right, and in that country hash, that country potato hash, we've got peppers, we've got some onions. We're going to go big portion here, right? Because it's COVID season. And so we're going to make sure everybody's feeling good and full. All right, so we've got in this hash, we got our peppers, we got our onions, we've got some banana peppers if you want to put those in there. You know, the thing about cooking is that you can follow a recipe, but you don't always have to follow a recipe, right? Part of what I enjoy about cooking is just the creativity. Getting in there and maybe finding a few things. Actually, one of my favorite shows, honestly, is on the Food Network, that Chopped show where they just throw some stuff at them and they got to create a dish in a short amount of time. That's excitement right there. So, you know, get a little creative with what you're doing, and then just kind of have fun with it, because at the end of the day, as long as it tastes good, as long as you enjoy it, that's the most important part of this. All right, so one of the things that we also like to do, if you really want to, I go with a little honey, syrup, and butter combo. Now, I can put this in a little pot. I hate doing the microwave. So I put it in a little pot right there. Good. And then I'm going to turn that on high just to kind of melt that butter. And then guess what we're going to do with that? I'm going to take that honey syrup, and it's sugar-free syrup, honey, syrup, and butter combo, and I'm just going to drizzle it around that waffle and that Nashville hot chicken. So as this kind of finishes up, we're going to get this rolling. I'll just show you how we're going to do it. We're just going to take that. There we go. It's nice and melted. I'm going to take that. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit around. Yeah. And if some of it spills over onto the potatoes, guess what? It's a good day, right? Here we go. A little bit more on there because it's a Friday, and why not? You know what I'm saying? So we've got a little recap here. City Taste of Tennis, Nashville, Tennessee. We got your Nashville Hot Chicken. We got your savory waffle, and we got your country potato hash. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed my little take of what's in my kitchen here from Nashville in Tennessee, and hopefully you're gonna tune in. Now, one of the things you can do is you can always log in, because all the episodes are on YouTube. You can go to Taste of Tennis, City Taste of Tennis on YouTube. You definitely want to follow along on their Instagram and all their social media channels. But great stuff coming out there. Some great chefs that are doing some recipes. They've got a Legend series. They've got people like me just jumping in here, some tennis people just jumping in here and sharing with you what we cook at home. And I hope you had fun with this today. I sure had fun. I appreciate everybody over at City Taste of Tennis, my producer and my cameraman in the back there, Mr. Guy Schaefer. And folks, let's just have a good time with it, and hopefully I'll see you on a court somewhere soon.